watching a program on television, competition, where these guys were trying to recognize, just hearing a few bars from a piece of music, what the music is. You know, you say, Verdi's opera so-and-so, and Tchaikovsky's Sixth Symphony Pathétique. And this chap, who was a composer, of course, himself, listened to 2 or 3 bars of something that were played to him. He said, no, I can't. No, I can't place it. No, and the time was up. Would you believe it? It was a piece that he had written himself. Oh, yes, I recognize it now. Yes, he says. You should listen to your own talks. You know, so many of us don't. You should visit them. They're incredibly instructive to you of how you are now compared to what you were then when you gave the talk. And you want to rush to your then aid to put it right, but of course you were so dogmatically right at the time, you'd have resisted it like the plague. Do you see? Humility is not what it's made out to be, some sort of humbleness before God. It's not that. Humility is recognizing that truth is not always plain and clear for you to see, and what you think is plain and clear is not necessarily truth. And you need to see someone you're very sympathetic to, namely yourself, and listen to them to see what's wrong with yourself, what has been in the past, and to give you a humility in the present, to know that no matter how sure you are this is right, you can still be so easily wrong. And then of course you feel so upset that you've led other people astray, and you want to rush to put it right, and put yourself right, of course, and keep yourself right, so that you don't cause such havoc in the future. It's a humility in reasoning that recognizes and embraces uncertainty, not tries to ignore it and pretend it's not there. We are in a universe of uncertainty, else you would catch on to the presence of God and the realization of Him, and you would lose the opportunity of finding out what your present values actually result in. You see, you are here in, I think, a safe place, because everything in this universe passes. You can make a mistake here, and it will pass into the oblivion of the past, long forgotten. It's not eternal. You can practice and learn by practice, and let the practice vanish behind you. So we are here given a fantastic opportunity to actually experience what we hold to be valid and true, of true value to us, and find out if it is. And sure, we don't have to find out the hard way. We might find out by looking at others that are following such principles around us. How are they faring? Does it work out so good? And so forth. We might listen to sage advice, the wisdom of the ages, scripture, legend, myths and fables and advice and stories and whatever else there is there. And we might learn there too, but bearing in mind that the advice might not be entirely valid by any means, just as your experience may be a fluke of something else, not actually valid. So, we seek truth. I think I said in the last recording, we seek truth from the point of view of its consistency. Is it consistent? If it's inconsistent, something's wrong, something's not true. Truth is a consistency. It has an integrity. Love has its integrity. It's persistent. It tries to overcome difficulties. Love is quite something on the integrity basis and the consistency basis. In other words, there's an intimate matching of truth, consistency, integrity, and love. It's, I think, all part of the same thing. And unless you can take hold of that unity, you don't have it. Well, that's an obvious truism, isn't it? But, there's something about truth through to love. Truth, consistency, integrity, love. And in love there's a faithfulness. Faith has something of conquering the uncertain, doesn't it? It's not a certainty that you love me, but I'm going to trust that you do. And when I do that, I make your love for me so much more enduring, so much more credible, so much more wonderful. It seems to be something of the essence of creativity. And it crossed my mind then, and what about imagination? Oh, well, if I visualize consistent with truth, I create eternal heaven, life eternal. Wow. Thank you, Dad.